Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to What's Map, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. I'm BonBonB and you're very, very welcome. Well, today's map was released during the What Map break at the end of July, and it immediately caught my eye as being one of those basic looking maps that could be absolutely insane for gameplay, and that is why I put it down for being reviewed when we came back. Doesn't look like it's going to be the most breathtaking map of all time, but it's about gameplay. This map it just said to me it could have something special about it. Now the question is, how special could it possibly be? The creator we have done twice in the past, and they stand out as being somebody who knows how to make a workable map. We did them in episode 311 and 417, where they got 11 and 9 stars. Today's map is going to be in that sort of area, but at the top end of that kind of area, and for that I feel that we should be very thankful. However, if you want to be thankful for the show, hitting that like button is a really good way of supporting the channel, and for that, I will be very, very thankful. Thanks for your support. Today's map is Digory Valley by DigoKube. Digory, Digory, Digory. Oh, put your gifs in down below. Let's have a little look at that start square. Again, cannot say too much about that. That just works. That's all very fine in the middle of the map as well. And then you've got your terrain heights look like this. It is a valley, which is obviously in the name of the map, so you'd expect that. And then your resources look very workable. We've got plenty of so it's all about farming, I feel. All about farming in the 25 tiles. And if you have Sunset Harbour and you wish to do some fishing, that is what your fishing map looks like. That's pretty good as well. Credit there. Off to the workshop. What do we need? Well, it is a mass transit map. You will need mass transit for this one, or the game will be broken. There are essential mods like the unlimited tree mod, because you want unlimited trees. I wouldn't say the unlimited outside connections is essential, because the connections are already there. Clouds and Fog Toggler, completely up to you, as is the 81 tile mod. Anyways, let's go down to ground level, pretty close to the ground. I want to take you down and show you this windy mountain forest road, because we don't often just take a look at the simple, understated things. And I feel that this road here is both simple and understated. We've seen roads like this just being plonked down too quick without too much thought, and I feel that maybe this road didn't actually have too much thought. Maybe. But I do feel that this does have a vibe to it. Now, yes, of course, it's a 100% vanilla map, but we are using the vanilla temperate theme and the realistic 1.2 LUTs, because the LUTs would make it a little bit better than the vanilla LUTs, which frankly aren't very appetizing. Understatement. And the trees are, of course, the vanilla trees, which aren't necessarily that appetizing either, although I do feel that the forests on this map do work. Even though they are mostly the two trees that you're seeing here, I do feel that they kind of work, so again, credit for that. But yeah, this winding mountain forest road just kind of does it for me. The thing is, and the one thing that's going to hold this map back in my eyes, and it has been mentioned in the comments by at least one commenter on the workshop page, is, well, it's a mass transit national road, and these one lane in each direction highways aren't going to handle the greatest amount of traffic, and I don't have a big problem with that depending on the map. On this map, I do feel that multiple lane highways would have been... I mean, this one coming through the mountains like this, yeah, sure, a national road across here, winding its way across. But I do feel that the map does kind of scream out for some extra lanes on the main routes going through in towards the city. And of course, yes, you can upgrade. Of course, you can upgrade actually once you're building your city if you wish to do so. But I know we're spending quite some time looking at this, but I feel that it just deserves it. I just feel it deserves it. We're coming out of the forest now and into the hills, the gentle sloping hills towards the valley, and it just had a vibe to it that I liked that, and so I thought I'd share it. Sharing's what I did. Now we're coming up to our first intersection. Now national roads could just like a junction, but we don't want to just junction because that's going to cause all sorts of trouble, isn't it? So we've got an intersection like this, and you may have noticed we have got a little bit of glitching with the roads there, which has been pushed a bit too tight. That would be very easily fixed, and I wouldn't worry too much about it, but I do have to show it to you. In terms of intersections, it's fine. You could head off back into the mountains and the hills over there. We have just come out of the mountains and hills, so we should head towards the start square, which is what we'll do instead. And run down into the valley. Now the valley's just got a really pleasing, it is a hilly, undulating map without being stupidly hilly. And no, we haven't actually got any trees on the road. They do get mighty close, but there aren't any trees actually in the road, so that's fine. That's okay. And the overall vibe, again, it's 100% aesthetic, 100% aesthetic, 100% vanilla with the theme and the trees, which means it's going to struggle to score really high. We can score really high with just the vanilla. It has been done. But this one, it does feel and look quite good. I'm going to be honest with you. It just does. Even though it's not a really screamingly high 4-star map for aesthetics, is it? It's not. But it does have something about it that, well, we'll crack on with that later, because you can see there is some kind of intersection or something coming on up here. So we'll better focus on this. And this is a very slick intersection. Look at that. Happy with that? I think I'm happy with that as well. That is very nicely worked into the terrain as well. Just very tidy. Yes, I know we've got some highways there, 2-lane highways. Like I say, possibly could be pushing up to 3 lanes here and there. Would be quite helpful. Anyway, down in towards the start square now, because that's a very nice intersection. Again, credit where it's due. That's a high 4, if not a 5-star intersection right there. In towards the start square, we can see you've got the dead ends here with the 2-lane highways just coming to a halt right here. We'll pull back, and that's what you're going to be building into. Works for me. And there should be around here an asset for reviewing. Can we find it though, do you think? And we can, of course, find one. It's the LAVIDE ATLAN Busan Haeundae Hotel Korea Yunseul by yunseul. I don't know if it's yunseul or yunseul or... yeah, I'm going to stick with yunseul until somebody tells me differently. But anyway, the LAVIDE ATLAN Hotel in Korea. Today's asset. What about factoids? Factoids, because factoids. Got a quick one today. George Washington grew marijuana in his garden. I can just see it now with the constabulary coming up, knocking on the door and saying, excuse me, Mr. Washington, can you explain why you're growing marijuana in your garden? And he would say, dude, it is better to offer no excuse than a bad one. George Washington, what a dude he was. A true great, actually. Anyway, LAVIDE ATLAN, Busan, Haeundae Hotel Korea, Yunseul by yunseul, today's asset of the day. Very nice work there. Okay, right, back into Digory Valley. Let's jump across the river. We could follow the highway back out, but I don't think there's much of a point there. Because over here we will find another national road. And it's all about national roads, this particular map. Yeah, that 2-lane highway, that's kind of more or less about it. Kind of. We do have a little intersection going on here. And that's fine. It's quite nicely, neatly done. And then we can follow the road off to the left. We can follow it off to the right. That goes up into the hills. I think we'll go with option A. Back down this way. See where this takes us to, because I think there are a couple of neat little bridges just to show again good standards. You know, if not the most exciting of standards, good standards like this one. Look, centered, neat little slopes, perfectly positioned pillars on that bridge on either side of the banks. It just feels like a real bridge. So again, little bits of credit going on there. While not outstanding work, solid, good. Solid work. The sort of work that you should expect in every single map. And some maps Some esteemed maps just don't have that. There's a wind it off to the left here. Plenty of traffic going on this national road already. And we'll wind it back down this way. See another river, which means have we got another bridge? We have got another bridge. Is this bridge as outstanding as the previous bridge? I would say probably not quite, because we have the pillar in the middle of the water there. Don't think we even need a pillar on that bridge at all. Could be just tweaked a little bit, and that would be just a slightly, but it's still a good bridge, if not a truly great one. Now, intersections. You're going to see a slightly odd intersection here, and while you might think at first sight, no, that's okay, what are you talking about? That looks fine. And it does look fine. But I'm going to say, I mean, again, look at the slopes. Slopes look great. But I'm going to say that this junction here is just a little bit weird. See this electric buggy here? Oh, I've got to get rid of these bloody things. He's having to turn right across the traffic. Now, admittedly, none of that traffic is going to go straight on. But I just feel that, yeah, the separate slip lane up and over, just tweak it a little bit into a wishbone, but a sleek wishbone, and I feel that would work a lot better than that junction with the hideous things could happen to those little buggies. They shouldn't be allowed on the roads. They should not be allowed on the roads. AVO mod, get rid of them. I shall try to remember to do that. Can't believe they've just re-established themselves. I'm sure I got rid of them, but anyways, back on with the rail. The rail is fine. The rail is not truly great, but the rail is fine. It follows interesting, sensible-ish routes, and within the context of playing a game of Cities Skylines, there are no stupid slopes. But they are a little bit uppy-downy, a little bit undulating, and true realists, if you're a true realist, you're not going to like this little slope coming up this brow of the hill here. It's more than a 1 in 4, that. It's more than a 1 in 4. It's not stupidly steep. And most of you probably won't care, but the few of you that do, I've told you. So you can write it off or write it in, whichever. But you can let me know in the comments which side of that argument you are, because it's always useful to me to know what sort of viewers I'm getting and how bothered you are by things. And if I bring up a thing, again, lovely little rail bridge there, no problems with that really. Yeah, if I bring up something and you say, no, that's absolutely fine, BonBonB, what are you whittering on about? The answer is I'm just filling time while we try and get to the end of the rail. We've got here in the start square-ish area, we have a potential for a station already set up, and that's always nice to see. I mean, again, you can just, I don't want a station there, delete the extra line, that's fine. It's fine, but it's a nice little nod to say, hey, look, this is where I recommend you build your station, and it's just in place, and that's fine. More than fine, really, isn't it? Anyway, heading off in towards the hills now, and we're going to see a nice little bit of tunnel work. Again, nothing exciting or outstanding, but it's good to see this. It's very nicely, neatly done. Credit for that bit of work there. The next one, though, has got a little bit of glitching on the outside that I feel could be filled in with a smoothing tool. But other than that, that's still pretty solid. There you go, a little bit of glitching in there. That's still very solid work. Anyway, we're taking a short intermission in the moment. It's paid promotion, so look away now.
Arbitrary Walker's debut album, Walking in Ancient Footsteps, is mind-bending electronica. It will change the way you think about time, space, and reality itself. It's like hallucinating with your ears. Wait, okay, maybe it's not quite like that, but it's still darn good music. Arbitrary Walker, Walking in Ancient Footsteps, is available wherever quality digital music is sold. CD is available on Amazon. Cover art by Papa Fox. It's psychedelic. Arbitrary Walker is not responsible for bleeding ears or exploding heads. Please listen responsibly.
Of course, when I say look away now, I mean please watch and even go ahead and watch some of their stuff, because they support the channel a lot more than YouTube revenue supports the channel, so credit there. Anyway, back to Digory Valley by DigoKube, and we have shipping routes. These shipping routes are very well. A shipping route, it just comes in, it loops around. We've got a little dead end into the estuary there as well. Water flow, it's a kind of working water system. It's a working water system. Although the flow does weaken as we get down to the wide part, but I feel that by the time you get down here, it's all dealt with, isn't it? And you get down there are some metal arrows as well, so it is still moving. So if you need a working water system, God, it's easy for me to say, then this map has got that for you as well. Okay, let's have a little look at, like I say, it was the terrain and the trees and everything that really drew me to want to review this map. And again, it's very vanilla, but it's very solid work. It's a good choice of terrain. It works really nicely. I feel that the mix of just these two trees, and I think there are a few bushes dotted in there as well, I think the whole thing comes together. It's not truly exciting, it's not truly amazing, but what we have is pretty solid work. We do have a little mountain river here, which, looking at it, it looks a little bit stop-start. I've got a little bit of null water there, a little bit of null water here, and if we look around a little bit further on, if we see one more, yeah, there's another one there. I think that's a bit of stop-start water going on with this river. It's probably not going to bother you. Looking at it where it is in the map, you probably won't go anywhere near it, but I've got to mention it. Yeah, so anyway, all told, I think it's a very solid map. But what do you think of the map? Is it a 1-star map? Is it a 5-star map? Is it somewhere in between? Your vote really does count. We use it at the end of the month for the Viewer's Choice Top 10. Will this be one of the top 10 maps of the month? Only you can decide. What do I think? Oh, I want this to be in the top 10. It's not a truly glorious vanilla map, but it's a very solid vanilla map. And off to the ratings page. Let's start off with aesthetically. I think this map, it is an aesthetic map. It does look pretty good, bearing in mind it is 100% vanilla. We've seen better vanilla looking maps. I'm not going to say that we haven't, but I feel it just nudges into low 4 stars for aesthetics. So low 4 stars is what I'm going to give it. Detailing is pretty, there's some pretty good work on here. There's a few bits and pieces that I'm not massively excited by, but all told, I think it's still good work. I'm going to give it the pass mark at 3 stars, but I'm going to give it a high 3. It is pushing towards 4 stars for detail. Gameplay potential, I do feel it does need some more highways. And so that's what's holding me back from giving it 4 stars. But again, I feel it invites you to want to play. And again, I feel it is worth a very high 3 stars for gameplay. Digory Valley by DigoKube. That is a very solid map that is very close to a seal of approval. I'm going to say that. It is actually one or two minor amendments and you've got a seal of approval map there. That is credible work. Well done, DigoKube. Well done. Anyway, we're heading towards the end of the show. Thanks to all the BonBonB buddies over on Patreon. And thank you to you if you're still here. You're in the 20 and out elite. Use the word of the day. The word of the day. There it is. In the comments. Don't talk about where you got it from. And award yourself 100 population points. And I'll be back tomorrow with another map in the What's Map series. Thanks for watching.